Make another video because I keep watching like a lot of Christian stuff. Like people have these realizations that this one guy was taking a sheet of acid and reading the Bible and with his crazy friends, and it's like that sounds horrifying. But anyway, I had to turn it off and I had to make my own testimonial because my life has been so different. I mean, look at what I'm wearing right now. I mean, they do say that it's possible that there were groups and tribes from thousands of years ago that thought Christ was marijuana and they just did marijuana all the time and prayed. So that's not a joke. That's real. I haven't researched that, but they said Christ means marijuana in some foreign country. I don't know. So I'm not going to go on that route. I mean, we already know about, the Caribbean and everything in Jamaica. So, and Christ. But, I did have this one realization when I was watching this Bible thumper. And the poor kid, had a bad time. He was on sheets of acid, and then, I'm sure he went right back to Christianity like that. But he said he had this strong group of friends that were Christian, and basically he flunked out of college, and he went home, and he had this like big support base of young people in Christ, and that's so awesome. Like you know, he sounds very similar to me. Like I didn't flunk out of college; I was close. I spent 4.5 years there, but I went there. Sounds similar to me because I went to college, joining all the Christian groups. But since it was in North Carolina, it was the Bible Belt, and I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and New Jersey. Okay, I didn't grow up in North Carolina, so like I kind of realized, like, dude, these guys have different beliefs than me altogether because they're from the South. So I eventually quit that and just became a writer. But yeah, I did lots of drugs. I didn't do sheets of acid, but I did acid, and I did marijuana all the time and drinking all the time. I had a dream last night I was smoking pot, and I haven't smoked pot in like over a year, maybe eight, maybe it was 8 months. Maybe I gave in and smoked pot. I know this one dude. Every time I hang out with him, which is never, I gotta smoke pot because he just starts talking. And I'm just like, give me that pot you're smoking. So there's one exception, but he wasn't in the dream, so I don't know why I was smoking pot. I think it must have been peer pressure because I have a fake front tooth, and I've been drinking coffee, and I can tell like how coffee stains your teeth now. Just maybe worse than tobacco. I don't know. I think tobacco's worse, but coffee's pretty bad. Anyway, this is what I realized by watching this Bible thumper talk about drugs, and there's this idea that I am God, and I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I'm more of a philosopher, so I'm not like saying that's real. I'm not doing that. I'm looking at ideas because I'm a curious cat, and I don't know if that'll be the death of me, but I think a lot of people will watch, really scary things and ghosts and stuff because they're curious. And I've had enough therapy to know curiosity killed the cat, but that's how human beings are. And we are curious, and we may watch, the first 48 and all these awful things that happen in the world just because of curiosity. I had a nightmare last night that I was on a pirate ship and they were going to kill me for my resources. I think I had a bunch of fish, and they were like, "We need this guy's fish to, travel the world on our ship." So they're going to kill me. That was really scary. Like I literally like kicked. Like I had one was waking during the very I thought I was kicking, the character in the dream. It scared the shit out of me, and I thought, well, thank God I live in a modern world where I'm not a pirate. Anyway, but again, I was curious. I wanted to go on YouTube and watch like videos about pirates because of that. But anyway, guys, back to my point. Enough of these tangents. I had this realization. I met a girl when I was like maybe 16, 17. Maybe it was before 16. Maybe it was 15. Because I was in a Catholic youth organization heavily. And there was this wonderful man who looked after all of us. And he was really funny. And he really cared about us. And nothing wrong with him at all. And he was just fantastic. And I remember I met this girl who was obviously more Catholic than I was. Like her beliefs were obviously stronger. I don't know why I remember. I don't remember exactly why. All I remember is she was blonde, and we were on like the Delaware River. And we were in a place that I had never been before. Because there's many communities along Delaware River. One of them is New Hope, Pennsylvania. So we were someplace like New Hope, Pennsylvania, but it was different. It wasn't there, and it was almost magical because, like, when I remember it now, I've had many dreams about a mountainous place where you can just go. You've never been there before, but if you keep going, you're gonna see all this cool shit. I've had that dream over and over again, and it's just like sometimes it's a festival, sometimes it's almost like that stupid like gnome shit, and you're just like keep going in the magic forest. And where I met her was a place like that, and I was only there once. And there was this idea like I should probably ask her out, and unfortunately, the dude who I just said was in charge of the CWO group, he was like behind me. So that's probably why I didn't ask her out because I was embarrassed because he was there watching me. And he probably knew it would have been a good idea for me to ask her out. And that's too much for me, you know, as a kid. So I didn't ask her out. I was always shy. But that would have been interesting if I had. Like, what if I went to the prom with her? I had some really weird religious Catholic girl that I thought was attractive. What would have happened to me? Would I be wearing the shirt now? But you know, there's something to it. There's something to religion. There's something to, especially Christianity, and it's screwed up. And it may be so many fucking things. But I do believe in God. I'm not gonna lie. I don't believe that I have to be a Catholic. I don't believe I have to be this. I don't believe I have to be this. I don't believe I have to be this to have a relationship with God. But it makes me sad to think that I felt I was in a magical place. I mean, we weren't just in a coffee shop. And I think the backdrop was a mountain or a hilly area. And if I had gone up it, I would have seen things I hadn't seen before. Because New Jersey and Pennsylvania are so green. There's so much greenery there because that's where the hurricanes come in. And now I live in Colorado where it's not, it's more dry here. There's no humidity here. But I wonder what would have happened. I mean, I probably would have been calling the phone, and then when I started driving, I'd be driving over there all the time in this magical land. But it is, but and to say that it'd be magical, that's bullshit. Because it's like I don't know. I was in other areas, and I would drive out there to the hilly places like Pennsylvania and stuff, and New Jersey, and it was magical because like these women, like these girls' backyards were just huge and on creeks and rivers, and there are more rivers because the creeks don't have always have that strong current. Like rivers are different, so a lot of them are rivers. But now I wonder what would have happened if I pursued her. Like I don't know. Makes me sad. I don't even remember what she looks like. But I obviously thought she was interesting, and I just shied away from asking her out because I'm stupid. Anyway, that happened to me a lot, and it still happens to me. Sometimes I get very shy, and it's unfortunate that we as men feel we have to be protectors all the time when we're just bosses and we're just friends, and we're not fathers, we're not warriors. We do not have to protect women. Okay. Yes, if they're special to us, I think we do. But we do not just have to be a manager at a restaurant and protect our fucking employees from, strange guys like me who show up to have a drink at the bar. Like those assholes, honestly, I wish some of those guys would go to hell. Because, if they want to be a father, they can go home to their wives. They don't have to fucking, kick me out of the bar because I'm talking to women. And I hate to say that, but those people exist. And because I'm 48 and not 28, they got their eyes on me first. So I never knew I would be that type of guy. I never knew that I'd be that guy, like in the bar, like I'm gonna talk to whoever the fuck I want. I never thought I'd be that guy, but I am. But now I'm talking to you about all my life, so you can see this Life is just a mandala wheel of understanding, and even those guys I don't like that I just talked about will have their own understanding. And but this idea that we have to protect everybody is bullshit because we live in a modern society and everything's pretty fucking good. You know, despite what you see in the news, everything's pretty fucking good. Okay, and don't give me that shit that in America we need to protect. Mature women. That's bullshit. Call the police if you have to, call an ambulance, whatever. But you're not the end all and be all that's going to protect every woman. I mean that's a dumb pursuit. I've been there before, especially when I was younger. I had really weird ideas when I was younger. I kind of wish I was like the way I am now when I was younger. That would have been really nice switch. Even if it was in my late 20s, like it would have made the world of difference for me to be this relaxed person. And maybe it took marijuana for me to do it. I don't know. I know had a sales job for a long time, and I maybe started talking more. But yeah, there's lots of things that piss me off. And like I said, we live in a wonderful time. Despite what this says in the news, we live in a wonderful time where we have it all. So don't fucking think about lack and shit. And don't even think about, like, I just thought about someone from high school. And the reason why I'm talking about it is I hadn't thought about this for any time. And that's like this idea of the magical, like, Shire place that you have this dream of. Like, where did that come from? And it obviously came from this experience I'm telling you about because I was in a place I wouldn't even know how to find that place. Maybe I could go up and down the Delaware River sometime and find it. I don't know. I doubt it. But lots of places in New Jersey and Pennsylvania are remind you of the 1700s and history, and that's another aspect because you're like, oh, the Liberty Bell and this thing and Princeton. I lived in Central Jersey, so all you have to do is go up one road most of the time, and or there's like one or two roads you go up, and you'll find it. You'll find the history, you'll find the woods, you find the greenery, you find majestic stuff. I mean, it's not like England. It's not like Harry Potterville, but it's still got its own historical looking thing with grounds and water, and it's beautiful and it's very romantic. And I go back there just for that. Anyway, but yeah, I'm a single guy. I have these thoughts. I think about them. I start talking about them on YouTube because I see these other people talking about it, and it's like, you know, I can do a testimonial, motherfucker. But yeah, I do believe in God, and it's not as black and white as I think some of these people make it out to be. But the idea that you could, woman religion, it's very powerful for a man, and that's where all these aspects of us being men come into play. Is back at the institutions. And I gotta say, as many restaurants and bars that I've been to, they're not an institution. They're just a business. The Bible says, "Don't go to Main Street and drink wine with other men." That's what it says for men. And for women, it says, "Don't go to Main Street and be prostitute." So Main Street doesn't know what the fuck is going on. So if you're a bar restaurant manager, just realize you're in the middle of chaos and it's not your fault. And you don't need to protect these people because they're going to show up anyway. I can't tell. I spent the last, like, not this year, but last year I spent a lot of time out on Main Street at the number one places to go. And there's a lot of people on cocaine out there. Kind of shocked me. Because, I mean, this is Colorado. This is where marijuana became legal here before anywhere else. And talking about this comb. Anyway, and people are on cocaine out there. Like, what lost people. But there's money there. So I met cocaine dealers, and they think money is impressive to other people, and they're stupid. And they're stupid. Like, I really don't think there's any spirituality in cocaine. I could be wrong, but I really don't think there's. Like, taking a sheet of acid, that's not good. And cocaine isn't good because you're like we all know like what boogers are. Why would you want to have more boogers? That's stupid. I mean, the one thing that scared me about cocaine when I was little, it did such a good job to keep me away from cocaine. There's this maybe a myth. It may not even be real, but it probably is. And it was in the 80s, and repeatedly you'd see it on TV. Maybe you saw it in school too, but you mainly saw it on TV, like those Miami Vice shows and stuff. And they'd be like, I was hanging out with this guy on cocaine, and he had a hole in between his nose, and he'd put a handkerchief in the hole and pull it out the other side. And that scared me to death. I was like, I'm not doing cocaine and have the middle of my nose deteriorate and have a hole in it. Now, what could happen if you smoke pot? You could have holes too. A hole in your throat. But that's what toxins do. That's what poisons do. You got to be very careful. But I will admit I'm not perfect, and I have one edible in my house, and you know it's a shameful thing. I have one edible in my house, and I lost it, so I want to look for it and pop it right now. And that's all. I think that's the most shameful thing about drugs is how desperate you realize you are to get the high, and that's always something you can work with. It's not like you're gonna take an edible and see the devil. It's not like that. But you may experience things that are, you know, derogatory and not good for you. Like, you may get sad instead of happy. And why would you pop like a pill and get sad? It's an edible. It's not a pill, but it's a gummy. It's a gummy. Um, but yeah, I'm looking at the time. It's 5:20 a.m. So I imagine the rec stores open at 9 a.m. And it's stupid. It's stupid to be like that. It shows you the addictive part. And so that's one of my flaws is being addicted to something like an edible. Like I could take two and not have a problem. Probably wouldn't take three. Maybe I would. Maybe I would. If I was in that magical place I just told you about with that girl, I would do it. And she'd be like, "You are the devil." I would freak out. So I'm glad I didn't date her. I don't need her telling me I'm the devil. Because who knows what problem she had if she took Catholicism so seriously. Like like in all likelihood, she probably still goes to mass all the time if she's not dead. Because I was like 16, so I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know how to look her up. I'm not going to look her up. But for all we know, she's doing well and she still goes to church. I know one of my friends in Catholic University is a priest now. I didn't know this till recently, but he went in to be a priest. So I would like to go see him do a mass. That'd be cool. Maybe I'll shake his hand and go, "Hey, good to see you, guy." I didn't graduate with him, but he was like a year before me or 2 years before me. The Catholicism, man, crazy. Um, but yeah, I think I need to just go out for lunch today, and I'll go to Indian buffet, and I think I'll feel a lot better if I do that because I haven't been out of the house in a while. That's my testimonial. I need to get out of the house. I think I need to put on a blazer, like I'm Kevin Samuels, and just dress up. Maybe I'll just wear this. I don't know. But there's just so much going on. Life is really exciting if you allow yourself to see it. If you don't, you got problems. But if you can open your eyes and go, "Holy shit, what is going on here?" Like there's just so many good things happening, and it's just like I don't like waking up at these weird times. I have a really weird sleep schedule. I woke up at 2:30 today. Now it's 5:30, so technically I can go to the farmer's market right now. But I should fix my bike if I'm going to do that. It's been raining every day, so that discourages me from going out. I hope it's not Noah's Ark in the flood, but it could be flooding. But yeah, I just want to have fun, and I don't understand people who are worried about stuff. Like, why can't we have fun together? Like, why are you worried about, I don't know, the future? Like, I'm 48, man. I feel it. I go, dude, 10 years would be 58. 20 years would be 68. And it sucks to think that. So I have to stop thinking that. And I have to find a way. I really have to find a way to stop thinking about my age. One is Prince. Prince always said age is just a number. And, Prince has always been a great influence for me. But the poor guy was taking pills and he died. So there's another thing, reason not to do drugs. I don't think they would have with an edible, but it is like popping something. I love edibles. Okay. I love them. Give me 10 mgs of that edible. And you could, you can freak other people out and get kicked out of bars if you're not careful. But I wonder what it'd be like on a roller coaster. That'd probably be terrible. I don't think I'd do that. I'd throw up. But like one of the things I look at is my email list, and I have all this shit on my email list. I mean, it's just out of control, like the amount of information I have. And who says it's good information? It probably is, but who says? And some of these people, like I said, they're lying to you all the time. And they're not being on the up and up. It sucks. I wish I had more people telling me the truth, but I don't think many people know it, so fuck it. See, I'm reading it. I'm reading the email list thing right now, and I think they're lying to me. I think they make up lies to try to convince you to buy what they're selling. Not cool. And it's not bad. Like you can learn something new, but I want to be successful, and that's kind of why I'm so openly talking on all these platforms. I want to be successful. I don't want to be a failure. Just like everybody else, I have my flaws and my problems. I want to succeed. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with some of the things I've had to deal with in the past 20 years anymore. I want to succeed big time, bigger, better, badder. I should make a shirt that says that. All right, that's enough. If you want to watch this, thanks. Thanks for the millisecond you paid attention. I know about ADD and ADHD. I know all about it. I know you can't keep focused on some random dude talking on the internet. I get it. Whatever. Thanks for paying attention to me. Subscribe, follow, like, share. Thank you.